In this video, you're going to see your boy RobRam trying to get his account to 2300, then to 2350, and finally to 2400. So here he is with his first game, and he started, bad opening, guys. He knows I don't like this opening, and I don't know, he invited me over to play the, okay, so now he's playing now. This is more like a Kali, lesson 104. And basically now you guys should be familiar with this. So basically he did it to show you that you could transpose from one opening into another one. So you gotta appreciate that. Now here we know that the typical plans are knight e5 or pawn to c4. You could also do both. So let's see what he ends up doing here. That e5 square is going to be ours. Now guys, those of you who don't know me, I'm Tato the Forker. I have my own YouTube channel, and RobRam invited me to do the commentary so that I can give him exposure to my to my audience. So here we are. Why not? The only thing is, I told him I don't like long lesson. He talks too much. So I'm trying to keep these blitz games 3 minutes. That way we get to 2400 quickly. All right. So now we take on d2, and we connected the rooks. Now here, if he knows what he's doing, he's gonna take with the pawn, trying to keep. No, he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh yeah, he changed his mind. There you go. So hanging pawns. What this does is, these pawns are really powerful. They give us a lot of control over the center. Now, a few things to keep in mind. They could be also trouble. You do not want to advance the pawns prematurely, or you could create weaknesses. So make sure that if you push one of the hanging pawns, it's because you're going to get a passed pawn. So one thing that you want to keep in mind, don't push the d pawn unless you have a really good Come on, man. Exactly what okay, anyways. What else can you ask him? He's playing some decent chess so far. What can I say? All right, so let's see. He could take, he's going to take on b2 for a fact. But now, guys, notice how, and now he's trying to detach, separate the hanging pawns. If he takes on e6, not only is the d3 bishop hanging, but the c4 pawn is going to be isolated as well as the other pawn. Now, notice how the c5 square is weak, and so he's happy with the fact that he might get a passed pawn. But at the end of the day, it is going to be an isolated pawn. It's going to be a weak pawn. It might just fall. By the way, it's interesting that he's playing first game a 2400. So let's see how the 2400 handles this weak pawn structure for the white pieces. All right, queen c7, there you go. Putting pressure on the c4 square. It makes sense. The rook comes over to be developed. Now he's concerned about the c5 square. If the pawn were still on d4, that wouldn't be a problem. Now, he might be prophylactic and do king h1 at some point, but make no mistake, queen c5 is going to be played at some point. Oh no, queen e7. Guys, tactics time. Pawn d6 has to be a good move. If the queen takes on d6, we get the bishop. Don't forget, guys, try to pretend this is your game. What would you do if you were playing this game? Okay, so bringing the rook, good. He's bringing the Swiss rook so that the f rook helps us attack the king. We need to be, all right, blunder, look, 2400 with a lot of time left, and they still make silly mistakes, guys. All right, so not a bad game. Let's go to the next one. And, okay, so 2278. We're playing the... Okay, guys, quick history here. Notice how he played this guy already before in 2017 and again in 2021. Let's see. Notice how the rating increased, but let's see how it goes this time. Okay, so this is looking more like a King's Indian defense against the English opening. And you also should be familiar with this, even from the King's Indian defense. Knight goes to c5. Now, they want to do f4. So knight h5 to help us control f4. You have to go to f4. Now, we're going to lose a pawn, but we get compensation. We get the bishop open from g7, and he needs to continue to be energetic. Now, guys, I know that this might seem too fast, but you can always pause the video, rewind. Knight e6, hitting the bishop, hitting the pawn, and setting up a shape trick. Guys, tactics time. Come on, tactics time. If you were the black pieces, what would you do? Pause the video. All right, there you go. Get the bishop and then pinned queen. All right, get the rook, get the queen, get the queen. Don't get, ha. All right, so now he wants to get fancy, but there's no need to do that, guys. Just take the queen, easy game from this moment on. So queen g5 was interesting, yeah, because the queen is pinned, but there's no need. Keep it simple. Now, notice that he's playing a 22-26, and yeah, now keep it simple. Even giving material, get away from that file, get away from the light squares, and just don't fall behind in development. The only way he's gonna lose this game is if he falls behind in development or if he makes a silly mistake. Yep, simplification. Now, oof, e4, chip trick, another chip trick. Yep, fork. And that's the end of it, guys. All right, simple move, simple game. We made it to 22-85. And let's see who we get next. All right, guys, a little bit of history again. So we have 2 games in 2015, 1 win, 1 loss. 2018, notice how the ratings has increased. And then finally in 2018. Now they're playing one more time. So, oof, come on, man. You're not going to defeat anyone with this opening. All right, guys, Bert's opening, I think he's trying to show us how it's a simple system. You just need to make it to the middle game and then play chess. Look at that. Okay, so the pieces go on, every time it's going to be the same thing. Now, the knight from b1 typically goes to d2. But here I think, yeah, I think it's more natural on c3. Yeah, he doesn't like that bishop on g4, so we're asking what is he going to do? Yes, so he's concerned about opposite side castling. It might be happening. Why not? A little bit premature, my friend. Come on. Yeah, I think knight c3 seems natural. All right, knight g5. Now, if they take, we take back, we connect the rooks. So not a bad move. Also, e4 is a good square for our knights. All right. Do you know what? Like I said, I don't like this guy that much, but he's playing some decent chess. And the best thing is that he's not doing anything extraordinary. He got to the middle game, pretty equal position. Then we just play chess. All right, bishop d3. Interesting. Guys, don't forget, if they take us, we get double pawns. But double pawns in the center are really powerful. Just like the hanging pawns from the other game, you're going to have very good control over the center. Towards the end game, not so much. But in the middle game, it's going to be good to have those double pawns. Now, what to do? All right, so he took. And now I'm guessing, yeah, now I'm guessing he's going to try to open up the center, get to the black king. Absolutely. I have a feeling that the black pieces are not going to go for it. But I like the way he's doing. He's sending them this. All right, 96 makes sense. Makes sense. Taking the pawn. Oof, nice. Now look, now we're getting the black pieces, 2 sets of double pawns. e6 and e5. They're isolated double pawns. Oof, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yep, so notice, I like how he's playing. He's capitalizing on the pawn structure over and over and over. So, going for g6. I don't know, my friend. I don't know. Okay, so now he's putting pressure on f6. If they take... Alright, so here we have to take in between move. Nah. So I think we have to take with the pawn to fix our pawn structure, guys. Well, I don't think... Okay, so he heard me. Alright, so we take with the pawn. And now we don't have isolated pawns anymore. The black pieces, they got g7, g6 weak, e6. So let's see. All right, man, just stop using the arrows. Let me do my job. Let me do my commentary. You see, he wants to take all the credit away from me. All right, so c4, the knight could go to f4, but we have knight d6 in between move. Very interesting. Oof, that's the in between move. And then knight f4. Oof. Nice. All right, so these natural masters know what they're doing, guys. Not that bad. So anyhow, okay, so queen d2, I don't think there's trouble for white, but I like the initiative that the black pieces have gotten all of a sudden. Now, we have the knight on e4. We shouldn't worry about knight g3. g4 could be a little bit desperate, but I understand. So what would you do, guys, if you were the white pieces? Rook f3, defending g3, makes sense. Yep, the knight's there. e5. Oof, look, the bishop on h2 is hanging. But either he didn't see it, or maybe it's not safe because he takes d4. Yeah, he wants to take it with the queen. Yeah, I think he missed. Oh, I don't know. So it looked interesting. Okay, queen e2. Now the knight is still being attacked on h5. Ooh, that's a free piece. Yeah, the black pieces definitely wanted to give a free piece. All right. Now, guys, we're up a clear piece here for the white pieces. The king is a little bit exposed, but it shouldn't be a problem. Oof, time should be a problem. Now, before you start telling me, oh, why did you ask him to play without the increment? Well, guys, we wanted to get to 2400 quickly. Even if he loses this game, he's done a great job from opening to middle game to this almost end game. All right, I'll be impressed if he pulls this off with 15 seconds. All right, so he's simplifying everything. Looks good. Looks, oh no, fork. All right, so look, this endgame should be a draw with time on the clocks, but I don't think he's gonna be able to pull it off, guys. Okay, yeah, no way. Now I don't like what he's doing here. I mean, I know this is time pressure, not a big deal, but he's just playing like crazy. Show some respect here. So show some respect and at least resign. Yeah, no, okay, so that was a mouse sleep. It happens. Yeah, now he's gonna resign. No, he's not gonna resign. Guys, please do what he says, not what he does. This is really bad. He should have resigned. He knows he's not gonna win this. Look at that. Even if he wins, it's not gonna be an honorable win. Yeah, that's it. All right. So he lost that one back to 2275. And okay, e5. Now he's playing the piece like always. A little bit boring, but it is what it is. All right. Notice, guys, that he's a little bit ahead of himself. Oh, look, here he is. He sent me a picture drinking coffee with his. This is the only good thing he's done with the piece. That t-shirt. And I didn't even show his entire face. All right. So look, he's playing a little bit fast. You can tell he's a little bit affected by his loss. But he, oof, okay, that's just bishop or knight. Well, knight. Now give me the rook, or you're going to, Okay, guys, tactics time. Pause the video. Nope, that's not the move, Robram. Come on, man. If you miss his tactic, well, no, he found it. Okay, so take and then discovery on the knight. There you go, guys. Quick game. Okay, he came back. And look, 99.5 accuracy. I think he was using an engine on this one. All right, so he's just showing off. That's for me. He knows that I was talking trash about his loss. So he's okay. Oof, look at that. D5. He's not playing the King's Indian defense. He's playing something different. This is more like a Grunfeld. So I'm assuming he's gonna try to fight for that center. Okay, so defending the knight makes sense. We are at 2280. Now, guys, I want you to pay attention to how the pawn structure dictates every plan in the middle game. Now, look at that, e5. So now he's going to get, if pawn takes e5, he's going to get an isolated pawn. We should know what to do here. Typical plans, when you get isolated pawns, well, you get good outposts, good semi-open files, and, okay, now he wants to get rid of the isolated pawn. That's a good way to do it. Okay, if they deny it, then we get a pass pawn. Still weak. I'm not happy with that, but we get the, there you go, we get the semi-open or open files. Knight d3. You see, battery to get to the 7th rank. Now they could do e5 and my bishop is not going to be defending anymore, but yeah, now if they take rook to the 7th rank, and again, isolated pawn, we get semi-open or open files. All right, now take on b2. Yep, take on b2. And now the rook is going to the 7th rank. Oof, guys, if he doesn't take that rook on a1, I'm going to ask him to delete lesson 67. He needs to take it. Look, he's hesitating. Yeah, he has to show us that what he's teaching us, he actually believes in it. Yeah, there you go. Now, the good thing is that his pieces are coordinated. Rook is going to the 7th rank. He mentioned this in his lesson. 2 rooks better than, oof, tactics. That's it. Game over, guys. And I think we made it to 2288. Not bad. And 93.7, that's for me. All right, he's showing off still. Next game, 2187. Oof, D3, who plays this? Nah, just kidding. I know that he had a lesson where he showed us how to play the piece with the white pieces. And now he's using sort of like, okay, bishop D3. Okay, if he goes queen D7, then this is going to be more like the same ideas from the 150 attack. Now he's gonna no. Okay. Now E3, there's a lesson, very good lesson that he gave us, guys, on these pawn sacrifices. Now if he does it, he should. That has to be a great move. Pawn E3, if they take, we're messing up their pawn structure. We're making them fall behind in development. And again, look, middle game, the pawn structure dictates the game. So we gotta pay attention to this. Now, we're hitting the knight, hitting E3 with a fork. Should we take and let them do knight G7 in between move? Now, knight E3 is a very powerful fork on the queen and the bishop on G2. Alright, so I think it's gonna secure the knight, and we're still hitting E3. Now look at that, double pawns isolated in the center. This has to be better for the black pieces. If he takes on E3, he gets the material back, and he leaves his opponent with a bad pawn structure. There you go. Oof, talking about pawn structures. So now black pieces have isolated pawns on H and F, but we get compensation. We get, oof, look at that, double pawns now, but we get compensation. Active pieces, the rook is gonna get to D8, and now queen E4 comes with a tempo on the rook, and his bishop is going to remain pinned in the center. There you go. Now rook D8, and oof, even more elegant. Castling queenside comes with the benefit of the pin on that bishop. Even if they do E3, like he's indicating, C5. And oh, tactics time, guys, tactics time. Pause the video. What would you do? No, Robram, come on, man, not that. If he misses this, no, he found it. All right, so pin pawn, we get the free rook. That's game. That's it. All right. So there we go, 2294. If we get the next game, we make it to 2300. Okay, guys, there's history here too. 2017, they played, then 3 draws in 2020, then 1 win and 2 losses in 2021. So let's see if Robram can get this game. All right. So, oh, come on, man. All right, look, guys, if he makes it to 2300, I'm going to tell him to change the openings for white from 23 to 2350. I know his point. He wants us to see how it's all about making it to the middle game. He's playing a 2300 player, and the same thing you saw before. The bishop goes there, castle, then D3. Okay, queen E1 to transfer to the king side, then D3, knight goes to D2. That's the end of the opening. Then we play chess. Pay attention to the pawn structure. E3 and F4 aiming to the king side. The queen wants to go to the king side. That's our game, playing on the king side. Our knight wants to go to E5. And one thing that I like to do myself here, I know I don't like this opening, but sometimes I play it. I like to bring the other knight then to F3 to replace that knight. Okay. Yeah, I like that. No, he doesn't like it. All right, so he's taking first, then knight F3, knight E5. Now, one thing to be careful with, or something to be trying to do, is trade my dark square bishop for their dark square bishop. All right, black pieces don't like the bishop aiming at the black queen. There you go. So he removed the fianchetto bishop, and now let's kick that black knight from our territory. There you go. Go back. Then we could do something like, okay, E4, then F5. And no, he doesn't want me to do that. Okay. Okay, now the knight is going for E5. There we go. That's the square for the, okay, black pieces know it. Now, time to bring the other rook. First, we gotta bring the queen out. G3 makes sense. Ooh, nice. If pawn takes pawn, knight H4, I don't think they, ooh, he did it. Guys, look, 2300 players, 2 minutes on the clock, and he did not pay attention to this threat. That's it. He assumed that white would recapture on E4. But now, I don't think they could do anything about the G pawn. If G5, pawn takes pawn, this is not better for them. Wow. Yeah, now queen g6. Now, one thing about this pattern is very interesting. Whenever he stops doing checks, you want to make sure that the black king is left at the edge. Because now imagine a white rook getting to the h-file. That would be checkmate. So let's leave the king like that. And ideally we'll be looking for a rook lift. Uh-oh, don't repeat, man. You're gonna make a draw. Come on. Knight g6. Oof, interesting. Now, how can we do... Yeah, he's gonna take now queen g6. He has to make sure that the king is left on the corner. There you go, king in the corner. Now look at this. He's up a couple pawns now when he takes. So he could win this by checkmate on the king or by taking it to the end game. Not ideal, but if he takes it to the end game, he's gonna be up anyways. Now guys, rook e1, rook e7, very powerful. Now queen goes to g6. Look, that king just needs to be checked, and it's gonna be game. So rook a to e1, rook e7, and boom. Or there you go, rook lift, rook roll over to g3, game is over. Yeah, rook g3 and then queen h6. That's the end of it. Oof, queens are hanging, queens are being attacked. There you go, check. Oh, rook g3, game over. Yep. Now they have to go to f6, skewer on the queen. That's the end of the game. Okay guys, that's it. Before I go, I wanted to apologize for my rude ad. I promise that next time I'm going to add more colors and graphics. Now seriously guys, like always, let us know in the comments if you have any questions, and we're going to see you on lesson 135.